Well, speaking of getting older and hanging stuff up, just as we come to the final topic, the last time Francine was on the podcast, we got a YouTube clip that was my biggest one ever, over 100,000 views.
Wow, I don't even get that on my channel for myself.
It's so easy to do with YouTube. Everybody knows that it's the most reliable promotional tactic in the world. I mean, I hate it, but I need it. But that topic was, of course, about Vince McMahon, the shy and retiring guy from WWE. Since then, Vince's whole world has just gone fucking crazy in that he went from doing a WrestleMania in an empty room, which was one of the most bizarre fucking things I've ever seen. Like, it was just insane, to coming back to some of the biggest grossing crowds of his career, to he sold the company, to suddenly his hair turned pitch black, which is, I think, is what happens when you sell stuff. To now, it honestly seems like every time Vince wakes up, he's generated a new $1 billion. He just was it a week or two ago, he sold a quarter of his stock for $800 million. This is on top of him having made, what was it, $6 billion from selling WWE. And then there's some type of clause in his contract that if they actually fire him, he has to get a severance of another $1 billion. Loser. But I'm also going to say that all the way during this time, Vince has been accused of a lot of antics, shall we say, a lot of dirty deeds. Some have been exposed as just, not even extramarital affairs, because it's been revealed that him and Linda, shockingly, I couldn't believe it, have not been together for a while. I mean, what? Why would you break up with a babe like that? But with the, I'm just saying, looks like a fucking bird. Still would. I'd pluck them feathers. Gigia. Sorry. But Ray DeVito told me to say all that stuff.
I don't think she likes your type. If you know what I mean.
What?
Your point, Hughezy, please.
Yeah, my God. The fuck? What's that eye tie talking? Yeah, but with so my point is, Vince seems to have been the one person to have escaped cancel culture. Like, it's kind of strange that all this shit's come out about him, or all these accusations have been made, yet he's the one guy that hasn't been shut down. So basically, the question I would ask is, why is it, do you think, that Vince McMahon has either gotten away with this stuff, or at least not been called out on it more? Do you think he's untouchable?
I don't think he's untouchable. I think it took a very long time for his sins to catch up with him and to be put out into the open. Because you know as well as I do, a lot of those billionaires with money, and they do crazy things and pay hush money to people, and you're supposedly never going to hear about it, and this, that, and the other thing. With him taking a step back, with him selling the company, and not being as active as he was at one point, because I don't watch the product, but you don't see him strutting down the runway anymore, going to the ring and being, it was the McMahon show for the longest time, right? It was either Vince or Stephanie or Hunter in the ring. Sometimes Shane is my favorite, by the way. I never mind watching him, but it got to the point where, no, he's my favorite. He seems like the most normal McMahon to me. I don't know why. But it was the McMahon show, and you were saturated. It seems like every Raw or SmackDown opened with the McMahon family, and it got to the point where it was like, okay, I'm going to turn the channel, right? So now he's not even thought of to be on TV. They don't really show him. Nobody mentions him. They don't talk about him. I think taking a step back has helped, because out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. Like when you turn on the TV, you're not seeing Vince McMahon. So you're not thinking about him. You're thinking about what you're watching at this time. When the news broke that he had all these affairs with women and he was paying this, that, and the other thing, people were coming at him hard, but it didn't really make a difference at that point because he had already kind of slid out of that lead role. And I don't think it affected him as much as it would have if he was still like the CEO and still on television and the family was still together. It kind of came out at the right time for him. Like the timing was better than if it would have came out like 5 years prior. I think that would have made a huge dent in his career because he was still very active in the company. Now he's more behind the scenes. I don't even know what his role is anymore. He's doing something, he'll always be associated with WWE. No one's going to forget the scandals. But if you're not seen, does it really matter what's going on? Because you can't judge him. He's not there. Somebody brings him up at a party, you might say, oh, Vince McMahon's such a dick. He slept with all those women and he paid them off. And that's that. But it's not like he's on social media trying to, jump down your throat every 5 minutes being on television because he's not doing that anymore. So I feel like out of sight, out of mind, nobody cares.
What was your take when you heard of some of the names that were confirmed as Vince's past relationships?
There have been so many rumors for years about certain female workers that slept with either him or Kevin Dunn to get their push. Oh yeah, I mean, I've heard so many different things. I told my truth and my story. I was told I needed to go in his office and rub the oil and lean over. And I said, the hell, I'm not doing that. There's no way I will ever do that. And I ended up getting fired. And I was fine with that because it was so like uncomfortable for me to be in that atmosphere. Now, if you want to do like something like that to get your spot, that's on your conscience. I don't judge people for what they do, like, because that has nothing to do with me. But it could just have been rumors. I was never there to see if these girls actually did these things. You know what I mean? Like the ones that have admitted to it, okay, I understand that. But then you hear so many different stories. You hear him being with women. You hear him being with men. I don't know what was real. Oh, there's so many stories.
Oh my gosh.
So many backstage stories. And that's all I'm going to say. I wasn't there to see it. So it's not my story to tell. If somebody wants to come forward and admit it, then so be it. So I take everything with a grain of salt. When we do something on our show, I'll always be like, allegedly, because I don't know if it's true. It's just the hot topic of the day and everybody's covering it. So I have to cover it too. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. It's a fun discussion, but we weren't there. So who am I to judge what somebody else does? Show me one person on this earth that is clean from any type of sin. You can't.
Hitler.
We're all guilty of something. And, some are more than others. And they have to live with it. Oh, look at that.
Oh, those two totally hooked up. You can see it in their eyes.
Oh, yeah.
What? No. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize what happened. My Christmas background went away.
That was such a... That was at the WrestleMania CD launch party. I won a contest. And I got to meet Vince that night. And we did a commercial together. And as soon as that was done, he shook my hand. He walked away. I never saw him again.
Well, maybe he was going up for a hot fuck sesh with Linda. You know how he loves all that stuff.